All right, my name is Annie. I'm going to do a reading for, let's do Scorpio. These are going to be about how you are ascending, what's going on, what's getting released during the full moon and the eclipse on the 10th. And then I guess there's a 111 portal right after that. So, spirits, angel guides, archetypes, messages. We're asking for messages from the divine, the one, the river of life. Please bring us some guidance for Scorpio. What do we have for Scorpio right now? Well, okay. Okay, so you're in just a place of mental rest. You might be sleeping a little bit more. You're just giving yourself a break. Or it might be something you need, but that's presently what's going on with your energy. Because of, maybe you're giving love a rest. Maybe you're giving a relationship a rest, or you're not worrying about it anymore. Maybe you're giving this ascension process a rest, just kind of mindlessly rest. You're in your subconscious, you've walked away from something. You might have walked away from a relationship, actually, or from somebody that you were emotionally attached to, because you really, maybe because they couldn't decide what they wanted, or you couldn't, or you just really couldn't see clearly in the relationship, and it was confusing, and you just kind of wanted yourself back. You wanted clarity, and you just couldn't get it. So I think that you basically in the recent past you were very confused, and you're just kind of giving it a rest. Giving love a rest. I really see it because it's just you couldn't see clearly, like you're losing yourself in it. Do you know what I'm saying? Right. So you decided to break up or the relationship ended one way or another. Like you did it or the other person did it. But it's over. I mean, you walked away, you consciously are moving away, or you're consciously aware that it's over. Yeah, there's been a breakdown. And you're just kind of right now in a state of rest. But it's really on your mind, the ending, It's something that is new and fresh, I think, for you. And you're experiencing the loss of it. And I think you will. Well, this is fun. So during the eclipse, you're moving through the loss and the letting go of this relationship. There's no, if they could be a soulmate or a twin flame, it doesn't mean it's over, but it does, because you need to let go, really, of all the egoic attachments in the first place to ascend. So in a sense, it is over as you know it. Everything is. It's a good thing. It's a lower self thing. This kind of pain is usually in your lower self realm. When you're in your higher self, you have unconditional love for yourself and everything else, and you can allow things to be and move and flow. You might experience pain, but it doesn't last a long time. Tower moments turn into aha moments. It's just a different paradigm that you're shifting into, and this is part of the process. This is the stuff you're releasing and letting go of to reorganize your thoughts about loss and relationship, and getting lost in the relationship because you weren't thinking clearly, like you couldn't see yourself in it anymore. You got lost in the illusion of it. I think you really right now maybe feel like you have to fight to survive, kind of thing. Fight among competition around you. That could be in, maybe you felt like this in this relationship. Maybe you need a rest from having to fight for competition in the relationship. I think the person you were in a relationship with were starting to get really cold and calculating with their words. They weren't connecting with you emotionally. They weren't considering your feelings. And it was a fight to even be heard, maybe. Like you just got lost in it. You might also just feel like you have to fight to survive. I'm kind of getting like with this card, I don't know why, because I think the cards are kind of showing it's about a relationship, but I'm also hearing like fight to be who you are. Like I feel like you're struggling to like come out on top and express who you are. Like where are you supposed to be in this world? The relationship was reflecting your like an indifference towards you, and I feel like that's how you're seeing the world a little bit, as an indifference towards you. Or I feel like you're struggling to find your fire. And this relationship mirrored that in sort of way. It didn't help. It's kind of making you have to do that. I think too, your hopes and fears. I mean, maybe your fear is that it's going to be, there's no reward in being the victim or the wounded warrior, you know, so definitely don't go there. I feel like you're in this mindset where if to attain happiness or what you want to attain, you have to work really, really hard for it. And so I think you're caught kind of still in confusion. I think you're exhausted maybe from the end of this relationship, and you just need to rest your mind and not worry about anything right now. You're just sort of in this kind of state of despair. I think you're going to move beyond this, but this relationship like freaking exhausted you. Yeah, cool. But in the outcome, you're moving into this energy where you become magic again. The magic comes back into your life, and you move back into your magical powers, and you manifest what you want to manifest. You learn how to create what you want to create. And I think moving away from this relationship brings your soul back, you know, brings you back to yourself. So, and I think after the eclipse and you release some of these, I want to almost say like false beliefs that life has to be a struggle in order to be seen, that you would need somebody to make you feel special or seen, you know, that kind of thing. Like I think you weren't getting the correct, like the mirror that you wanted to from this person. So you cut them out, but it was a loss. And they just were really cold. I don't know. It's just like, I feel like it made you sort of dead for a while. Or you're kind of dead anyway, and so what was the point of having a relationship? But I feel like near the end, after this full moon, you're going to release like indecision. You know, maybe even going back and forth between lovers or having relationships in order to feel something, to feel magic. I think you're going to find it on your own. I feel like you need to get to the top of the mountain where you can see everything clearly. I feel like you just haven't in the past, and maybe currently, you're resting so that you can tap into your truth, tap into your magic, know who you are, and then wave the magic wand and start creating and having fun. But let me do some clarification. I'm really like, yeah. So yeah, you're resting so that you can move beyond the illusion. That's pretty clear cut. That's why you're resting, so that you can go inside and know your truth, know your own fire. You kind of got numbed out there. Okay. moment to moment. I think that in relationships, you're not interested in a relationship. If you are in a relationship, there's no need for commitment right now. Or maybe the relationship that you were in was non-committal. It was just like there wasn't enough commitment in there for you, or this is how you're seeing relationships. You're take it or leave it. You're not. You don't have a plan. You don't have a relationship plan. You're in the present with that. Let's see how it goes. Let's take it moment to moment. Or that was the nature of the relationship that you were in. Okay? Or that's how you felt in the relationship, or how the other person felt in the relationship. Whether that's good or bad doesn't really matter. You know? I actually feel like it's coming from you. Like you're in no place to make a dream in a relationship when you haven't even figured out like what your dream is and what you want to create. So you're in no place to co-create with someone. I kind of see it like that. So the relationship, which is something that you had moment to moment, like, okay, cool, I'm in one, but you got lost in it a bit. I guess, walking away kind of brings you to your maturity. It brings you closer to who you are. It was actually a really wise move for you to know yourself, to grow, to mature. It was kind of stunting your growth. Yeah. Experiencing. Yeah. It was keeping you stuck. You weren't experiencing life. You were just kind of looping in it. You couldn't even see like the forest from the trees. You know what I'm saying? You just couldn't see anything, like a future, what to create. Your creative ideas were kind of like, you're numbed out and confused in that relationship, or kind of in your life too. It's both. It's not like it's the relationship's fault altogether. It's just like, because you're in that place, this relationship can't co-create and do anything, because you need to do that yourself first. Yeah, so as the tower breaks down, as the relationship ends, the world starts to open up for you when you move into a new cycle. And I feel like the eclipse energy is helping you move on from the numbness, move on from the illusion that it's going to be a lot of work for you to find your fire. But I think you're willing to do the work a bit. You're kind of sick of the cold energy. Yeah, this person might have been really controlling too. Actually, not controlling, like a know-it-all. Like a know-it-all, and kind of like you kind of lost yourself in their know-it-allness, and then they kind of projected their know-it-allness onto you. So it was a loss though to lose them, but yeah. So there's kind of a new energy growing. You're going to start to become ripe and hone your craft, hone who you are, develop yourself with your truth. You're coming out of the illusion. Yeah, so interesting. The environment is if this is the other person, they just were really dominant in the relationship. They were creating everything and you were just sort of following, and they were very cold, I feel like. And then maybe you saw them as your source, of light and life. You put them on a pedestal, and, that was the dynamic, the way it was. Also, it could be energies that in your environment now, when you come out of the eclipse, that you start to create. You no longer, you cut out the coldness and you start to bring in the fire. The fire. You might have felt like it was hard to please this person too and keep them interested in you or keep them happy. It was hard for you to see your value. It's hard for you to see yourself in this relationship. Yeah, so a part of you, is willing to do the work to see clearly the top, but I feel like Spirit's really telling you to go with the flow. Because in the flow is where you are, your truth and who you are. Yeah. So in this, you got this letting go card, and you know, in order to manifest, we do have to let go. We put out the vision of what we want. We start creating the vision, and then we let it go. You know, so I feel like this is just kind of letting you know, like, let all this go. Don't worry. It's not hard to. I feel like you've been suppressed for a long time, and you need to let go of the patterns that have put you there. Like, why have you been, you know, why have you been stuck? Why does it feel like it's so hard to get unstuck? And I think you're going to move into your magical powers, and you're going to go with the flow and realize it's not hard to get unstuck. Just let go and move down the river, and you will be unstuck. Okay, so there's a little bit of false beliefs, believing that you have to fight to get unstuck, and it's just a letting go. So I think all this stuff's going to come to light during this time, and you're going to move into some serious magic. I'm doing this so much faster. Weird. I'm not about being fair with time with the different signs. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to let it come out the way it wants to come out. These messages are coming out really fast, and I don't know why. I don't know why. Maybe it just is what it is. I'm letting go. I'm going with the flow. Right, Scorpio? Firefly. Yeah, I feel like you're finding your fire. Firefly, I think, is a little bit of like a nervous, mindy energy, which makes sense. Anyway. Oh, okay. Inspired and fantastic, yet fleeting, the firefly contains the light of 1,000 stars. It's pure, radiant, and illuminating. This high-frequency charge cannot be sustained for long. Therefore, the firefly card indicates a moment of inspiration or awakening that quickly fades if we do not catch it. Oh, wow. There is firefly energy behind every poem, song, and invention. Our job is to be ready to harness the creative spirit when it graces our path. What can you do to support this precious and elusive light? Right, and when in balance, writes, creates, and brainstorms. When out of balance, burn out, feels dull. When in balance, to bring into balance, write a poem and draw. Okay, so some of you are artists, and you kind of got burnt out for a while. I think that you're trying too hard to get that light back. And I think that going with the flow and letting go, just let go of everything and allow that spark to come and then ignite you back into your passion. For some of you, it's just about, like, you're an artist and it's coming back into your art and your creations. You kind of numbed out for a while. For some of you, you just haven't come into your maturity and in who you are, and now you're going to flower and blossom, and your light's going to shine. As you let go, you're going to get ignited by inspiration and then follow through and start to see yourself. You know, start to see your truth and live your truth. Let's just do like a couple outcome cards. Especially because looks like you just left a relationship. So I just think you need this time to come into your own. And if you're an artist, maybe this relationship's just really keeping you from your art. Yeah, you're going to start to create more, bring more prosperity into you. And the relationship will, if it comes back around, it'll come back around with equal give and take, you know, but you're going to see more of that evenness, where I feel like this relationship was really one-sided, and you know, in the future, your voice will be heard again. And then you got the Ten of Cups, which is emotional fulfillment. Okay, these are two really excellent outcome cards. And I just see you being emotionally satisfied, whether you're in a relationship or not. This is a lot of times in a relationship card. I don't have a lot of relationship characters. Maybe you'll meet a Virgo, a Gemini, or Aquarius. But I'm seeing it more of like you being emotionally fulfilled and you experiencing your voice and your voice being heard. You know, having that reflection, that mirror of other people listening to you and responding to what you have to say and what you have to create. I feel like you've been numbed out and very silent in this relationship or in this past. And you're moving out of that. You're getting that inner spark. You're getting your voice back. You're getting your truth back, or you're coming into your maturity. So yeah, that's what I have for you, Scorpio. My name is Annie, and if you want a reading, my information is in the description box. You should totally sign up for a reading. I can get right back to you, and I do not charge that much. So happy full moon. Take care, Scorpio.